These moments where everything is broken are the moments that grow us the most. If I only focus on the things surrounding me, I rarely see any hope of change. God calls us to remember what He has done in the past so that we will have a hope of what He will do in the future.
Do you miss having time for Jesus and yourself, but you're drowning in the responsibilities of motherhood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Cheryl, wife, girl mom, and Jesus follower. I learned the not-so-secret ways to become the mom my girls needed by prioritizing Jesus back into my mom life and reclaiming my identity in Christ. If you're ready to build faith while washing dishes, rediscover your identity, and love yourself like your babies do, grab your earbuds and lock that bathroom door for a minute alone. It's time for Mom.
Have you ever driven or walked over a mountain expecting to see a town nestled in a beautiful valley, but all evidence has been wiped out by an endless ocean of gray that stretches as far as the eye can see? The view is pretty amazing when you know you are above it. But once you descend through that gray haze, well, you are going to have to keep reading. We call this phenomenon an inversion. Turns out they are technically called cloud or temperature inversions, but who has the time for technical? An inversion looks like clouds have descended on a valley and settled a few thousand feet above the valley floor. The clouds seem stuck to the pine trees like Velcro, and they can't move. What has happened in the normal temperature distribution gets inverted, which can cause a layer of cloud or mist to form above the affected area, locked in the wacky temperature change. Google makes me sound so smart, doesn't it? Sometimes you don't see the sun for a few days, sometimes weeks, and sometimes a month or more, which can lead to some really cranky people because sunlight helps improve attitudes so much. Mom hack, send your cranky kids outside. They are happier when they come in, even if it's just because they get to be inside. Recently, we've had an inversion that lasted about 8 days. You could watch the frost build on the pine trees across the valley just below the clouds. Each day, they'd turn a little whiter. Every now and again, when the sun was setting, I could see the bottom of the inversion change colors from solid gray to having strips of yellow, white, and dark blue. At the end of the valley, I could actually see the sun shining through. The sun didn't break through where I was standing, though. The next morning, the inversion was still there. Everything was still gray, damp, and cold. Nothing had changed in the present circumstance, but I had seen the promise of light, and I saw how light can change everything. Struggles, discouragement, anxiety, depression, all those fun emotions are like an inversion. Things have been disrupted and turned on their head, and my circumstances completely block out my perception of the sun, SON, spelling intended. But if I am trying to find God when all that is good seems to have died and what's left is a gray pall that clings to me, I can still see the promise of light and a brighter future that is worth waiting for. There is a line in The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, said by Samwise Gamgee. How could the world go back to the way it was when there is so much bad that has happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you. These moments where everything is broken are the moments that grow us the most. If I only focus on the things surrounding me, I rarely see any hope of change. God calls us to remember what He has done in the past so that we will have a hope of what He will do in the future. He tells us to encourage each other, to testify of what He has done to those who are still struggling. Circumstances and inversions don't change by themselves, although it often seems like it. Inversions require another force of nature to correct what has been messed up, like a strong wind or an incoming storm. Just because it was gray and now everything looks black because a storm is coming in, it doesn't mean that the future isn't going to get brighter. After that storm, the air may still be cool. It is December in Montana, after all, when I wrote this. But now the air is crisp and fresh. The haze that built up from that broken temperature layer have been flushed out of the air, and the air itself seems to shine. The sun is so bright, and that sky is so blue. A brighter day would not have come without a storm fixing what is broken. God is still in your circumstance, and I pray that He helps you see His hand. Until next week, mamas, keep going. It's just a season, and God is with you in it. Be looking for Him. Bye.
Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a mom who's wading through those mounds of laundry and dishes and wishing for just a little me time? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It makes my day to know this podcast has helped you. Well, it's time for me to wash more dishes and cook more food. I'll meet you next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, may the God of grace fill you with His peace.